You don't actually struggle to change. You struggle to stay changed. Your life is full of versions of you that never stayed. The healthier you. The more confident you. The one who sets boundaries. The one who wakes up early, journals, drinks water, answers messages, finally gets it together. Cut to you on a Sunday night, rearranging your room, making a fresh to-do list, choosing a new playlist that matches your new era. You delete some contacts, archive old chats, clear apps from your phone. It feels clean, hopeful, like you're stepping into a different skin. For a few days, maybe a few weeks, the new self shows up. You say no a little more. You go on walks. You speak a bit more honestly. You post something slightly braver, write a caption that sounds more like you. And then, something happens. An argument. A long week. An unanswered message. A familiar loneliness. Almost without noticing, you slide back into old habits. You over-explaining again. You ghosting people who matter. You losing the routines you swore would save you. You watching yourself, a little disgusted, thinking, here we go again. Cut to you staring at your reflection, or your notes app, feeling that quiet shame. Why can't I hold on to any version of myself? Why do I always end up here? You keep trying to transform by changing the surface, the schedule, the wardrobe, the aesthetics, the way you speak online. Deep down, something in you knows, it's not fake. You do want those changes. But there's another layer that doesn't get touched. The part of you that still believes it has to stay who it was to be safe. You feel torn between two forces. The pull toward who you want to become. And the gravity of everything you had to be to survive. This is where the psychology of self-transformation starts. Not with a list of habits. But with the question underneath all your failed, new eras. What part of you is convinced it won't be loved, or even allowed to exist, if you actually become someone else? Self-transformation becomes clearer when you realize this. You haven't just had phases. You've had different strategies for staying attached. Think back to who you were asked to be when you were small. Maybe you were the responsible one, praised when you held everything together, quietly tolerated when you were messy, emotional, needing help. Maybe you were the peacemaker, valued for smoothing tension, invisible when you had your own anger. Maybe you were the achiever, celebrated when you performed, subtly withdrawn from when you failed or slowed down. Maybe you were the easy child, no trouble, low maintenance, the one who learned early not to ask for much. Cut to little you in a hallway, listening for the weather in the next room, moods, tones, footsteps. Your system is already calculating, who do I need to be right now to keep everyone okay? That self you think of as your personality is, in many ways, a long-practiced posture. Your nervous system's favorite attachment strategy. A shape you learned to hold so people wouldn't leave, explode, collapse, or ignore you. So when, years later, you decide, I'm going to be different now, you're not just changing habits. You're threatening the identity that once kept you emotionally alive. You say, I'll set boundaries. But the moment you actually try, your chest tightens, your thoughts rush in, they'll be hurt. They'll leave. I'm being selfish. The old self, the appeaser, the caretaker, the calm one, rushes back to pull you away from the edge. You say, I'll stop people-pleasing. Then someone's voice goes cold, and every cell in your body remembers what that used to mean. Without thinking, you apologize, fix things, smooth it over. The new you disappears, the survival you takes over. It's not that your new self is fake. It's that your old self is fused to safety. Your mind may want transformation. But your body carries the memory. This is how we stayed loved. This is how we stayed chosen. This is how we stayed alive. Real self-transformation starts here, in the tension between the identity you perform to survive and the one that keeps knocking quietly from underneath it, asking, is it safe for me to come out yet? True change doesn't begin the day you reinvent yourself. It begins the day you stop calling your old self the enemy. Imagine your inner life as a stage. At the front stands the version of you everyone knows, the strong one, the funny one, the helpful one, the calm one, the quietly competent one. They learned their lines perfectly. They've kept you alive. Behind them, in the shadows, there's another figure. The one who gets angry. The one who wants more. The one who needs rest. The one who dreams of a different life and is terrified of ruining the current one. Most of your new self attempts try to shove the front actor off stage and drag the hidden one into the spotlight overnight. Your system panics. The old actor storms back in. The show goes on as before. Real self-transformation is slower and more tender than that. It's not a violent replacement, it's a rearrangement. Maybe it starts in small, almost invisible ways. You're about to over-apologize in a message, the old script. You notice the urge. You still send something soft, but slightly truer, I can't do that this time. The survival self is still there, but the hidden one got a line. You're tempted to start a massive new routine on Monday, new era, new me. You catch the familiar high, the fantasy of becoming unrecognizable. Instead of planning your whole life, you choose one gentle practice that actually feels kind to who you are right now, not who you wish you were. You still break your promises to yourself sometimes. You still slip back into old dynamics. The difference is that you don't treat these moments as proof you can't change. You treat them as information. This is the part of me that's scared. This is the moment my body thinks I'm in danger. Little by little, the new self stops being a costume you put on for a few days. It becomes a collection of small, repeatable acts of loyalty to your own inner world, especially when your old wiring is screaming at you to abandon yourself. Self-transformation, in the deepest psychological sense, is less about becoming someone else, and more about finally letting the self you hid take up real space in your actual life. Not as a performance. Not as a perfect version. But as the quiet, steady truth that remains. When you stop living only as who you had to be, and start living, inch by inch, as who you actually are.